the day I made the most tips was the boyfriend finally did break up with me, and I had to go straight to work. So I was sobbing at this diner while I was waiting. I was like, can I get you? And like, they're like, are you good? I'm like, no, he broke up with me and I'm all alone. And they were like, they would give me like $100. And I was like, this is actually great. Because I was also a really bad waitress. I was not good at it.
Hi guys, I'm Jiaoying Summers. Welcome to the Tiger Milf Podcast. Today is very special. I'm actually in San Diego. I was able to capture the biggest TV star. She is here. She is New York's bestseller. New York's books back. Like, her book is amazing, and you've seen her on TV. She's gorgeous. She's powerful. She's brilliant. Are you ready for the one and the only Kat Timpf?
That was the best introduction I've ever had.
I am so still much. Like, I have to touch you. Okay.
Oh, you can.
This is the Barbie nail that matches the shoes you wear on Variety.
For the Variety party.
Yeah, it's the same color.
Yeah.
Did my sister do your nail? It looks nice.
So Keith, my friend and manager who's here, he dresses me. Anytime I look good, I didn't pick out my clothes. So.
Oh my God, you are so lucky. You are so lucky. He came out from the closet for you to take things from your closet. That is so brilliant.
Absolutely. It's funny whenever at my live shows, people are like, is that your husband? I'm like, he's a gymnast. You know?
That's amazing.
So no.
I am like me and my PR Pam, we are obsessed with you. Like,
I love that.
She watched you. She started watching Fox because of you.
See, I love obsession. That's the only kind of love that I'm really into.
Yeah. Also, like, I think obsession is very important. Like, for dogs, like, how do you know your dog loves you?
How?
Like, if he does not eat the crotches out of your pants, I don't think that's true love.
That's true. You're absolutely right about that. Yeah, my dog's a boy too, and he does that.
I think it's because they want to protect you. They want to remove your order from bad people try to hunt you down.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think that sounds like science to me.
It is. So in my hotel room, I found out Suzanne Summers passed away.
Yeah, I know. It's so sad. She was a power woman.
She is so amazing. I really love her. Her stepson, producer Stephen Hummel, is my friend, and he found out I love leopard. So I love leopard prints, and he's like, my stepmom gave me a lot of leopard prints, like blankets and towel. Do you want some? I said, I'll take anything from Suzanne Summers.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so funny. I was actually not allowed to watch Step by Step when I was younger because it had sex in it. My mom was really like, you can't know about that. I was actually, there was an episode of Boy Meets World where Corey and Topanga thought about having sex and like they decided not to, and I still wasn't allowed to watch that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Catholic household.
That's like really strict.
Very, very
really
strict.
I can't.
I still found out about it.
Yeah.
Sex. I learned about what it was anyway.
Same with the Chinese household. My mom wouldn't let me like hang out with a boy by myself, do homework together. She would be so angry when she found out that. She's just like, so furious. She's like, did you talk to a boy? You can't speak to boys. You know, it's gonna ruin your life.
Yeah, but that can be true. Yeah. But also, my mom grounded me one time because my boyfriend in high school got his tongue pierced. She called his house, broke up with him for me, and said I was grounded because I had the judgment to date someone who would get their tongue pierced.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I grew up to make horrible choices in men until my current husband is. I have a current husband. My husband is an amazing guy, but I dated only complete losers.
Well, you have to go through the bullshit to dig the gold. You know, the gold is at the bottom.
There's a lot of bullshit.
Yeah, it's a lot. I am taking a break from dating.
Yeah.
Because I need to learn how to love myself. It's so cheesy. My ex-husband is, he's a professional gaslighter. I realized because his major was electrical engineering, he's professional. Like, he's just so good at gaslighting. He was just so good at it. Yeah. I'm still traumatized. I'm just recovering from him.
Totally. I had a guy who... I found a list of people he cheated on me with, like in a notebook. He wrote it down. He wrote the list, and he somehow like convinced me that I shouldn't be going through his notebook, and that was a list of something else.
What list would that be? That is hilarious. That's funny. That is funny.
And it was all these girls. Obviously, it was like not, he was like, no, why would you say that? Why would you say that? And it's because I don't know. It's exhausting. There's a lot of trash out there.
Oh, this is disgusting. Like, what list is that? Those girls.
Yeah, it's like, is it a kill list?
Yeah.
Is it people you're going to kill? There's no situation in which a list of women is a thing that I'm going to want to see in your notebook.
I know. I can't believe it. I think he was dying for you to find it out.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, so gross.
He doesn't have a job. They never do.
I hate lazy man. I can't
do
handle
too.
lazy. I just cannot handle lazy because I'm a communist. Like I cannot handle lazy. My son is working for me. Like he's my child labor.
Yeah.
He remove my makeup every night.
And you have 2 kids.
Yes, I have a son and a daughter.
See, that's crazy. See, I don't have any kids, and I'm
You're
thinking
smart.
about it, but it's scary. Like, aren't you scared? Like, isn't that scary?
It's very scary. But I was gaslighted. I didn't really know. But it was my son. He think he has. Like he has rights. He thinks he's American. I'm like, that's cute. Like you are a Chinese boy. You have to like make way more money to get the same pussy other people are getting. Like you have to work hard.
You let him know.
He worked hard for me. He remove my makeup. He tell me, mommy, if you don't remove your makeup, you'll be ugly in the morning. The makeup is bad for your skin. You become ugly. You'll be lonely. I said, I'm lonely now. He said, I'm with you. I said, that's why I'm lonely. You are the reason why I'm by myself, Winston. I want to talk to you because you are such an amazing career woman. I guess when do you want to have kids?
See, I'm gonna do it. Like I think I'm gonna do it like within the next year, maybe. And I'm gonna do it because I think it'll be funny.
I think you are the kind of woman having a child is going to make your career even bigger because you are that kind of people. Like whenever like I see like an investor, she always say, I want to invest in the person, not the project.
Yeah.
So like because who you are, that when you have a child, it's just gonna become something makes your career, your life even better because you are capable of handling stressful situation. Like that's what you do.
Well, and I'm the kind of person who I say yes to things. So I'm like, what? Let's try this. My little sister is like, that's a horrible reason to have a child. I'm like, I'm sorry, but people have kids because they were drunk at prom. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Teenagers have kids because they were drunk at prom, and it's
So
it
were you
works.
expecting a boy or a girl?
I would want a boy. I
Nice.
would want a boy. Because I would just be scared to have a girl because she'll hate me.
My daughter already hate me. She
Yeah.
gave me the side eye. I'm like, is she being Chinese or she hate me? She just hate me. She's like, I said, what, Margaret, give mommy a kiss. She's like, she walks away. My son's crazy about me. The boys
Yeah.
love the moms. The boys love the moms. I make sure my son knows that he ruined my life, I just always make sure I did not use epidural. You explode my pussy. That's what you did to me. Now you can go back to sleep. I just wake them up.
I think I'm
Winston,
gonna
wake up. Winston.
I want to not do the epidural. I want to not.
You are
do it.
crazy?
Yes.
Like me? Oh my
yes,
God.
I'm crazy because here's the thing. So my mom did not do it. And she died, so I'm like, okay, I don't want her to. And my mother-in-law also didn't do it. I can't let them both be better than me.
No, then when they tell like, well, it's not like you had
Right.
natural birth. You be like, yes, that's right.
Yeah. And my sister-in-law just had a baby, no epidural. So I can't be like the only one who
Yeah.
has the epidural. I'll be the laughing stock of the thing.
They will make fun of you.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter like how like whenever your son don't listen to you, like yeah, he didn't respect you because he didn't go through the real pain for him.
That's absolutely right.
Oh my God, yeah,
See, that's because my mom could hold that over me.
yeah.
And she should, and I want to be able to use that. I don't want to be the only one that's like, oh yeah, Kat's over there. She gave birth, but not really.
Your son is going to be very like a son always look like mom and be like smart like mom. Like the girls are more like their dad.
That would be so my daughter will play lacrosse.
Yeah.
I don't want that to happen. But yeah, my husband is like a good man from a good family with a good job, which meant it took me a lot of therapy to be able to be attracted to somebody like that.
Yeah, because he does not call you fat in a month, something.
He's like, I got the vibe from him immediately that he'd be the kind of guy who'd want to like talk through a disagreement rather than like block me on social media and disappear for a few weeks and then like reach out to me a few days or a few weeks later, be like, hey babe, like nothing happened. And I was so used to the kind of pizzazz that, an untreated mental illness can bring to a relationship. Mm-hmm. So it took a lot of therapy for me to be like, okay, this is hot to me. Somebody who's actually, completely right in the head.
That is really like important for girls to know. Sometimes our trauma is stopping us from meeting the right man because when they are not abusive, we're like, what's wrong with you? And then we learn the abusive behavior from people abusing us because we think we want to get some reaction to feel like we are needed.
Yeah.
I felt like after my husband, I have a very tough time. I've been attracting a lot of toxic losers because they can sense my vulnerability and they come to me, they pretend to somebody else and they try to take things from me, like try to use me. Now I just see it because I'm sober. I think being sober also helped me from seeing things. Like I can't numb my pain through this because it's too much. And my eyes are tiny, but I can see now. I'm just like, no, you are not getting this from me. No.
And it's so hard because love bombing is awesome while it's happening. While someone is love bombing you, you're like, oh, I'm the best. He gets it. You know, he like, this is what I deserve. And it's so obvious that it's not real.
Yeah.
But if they're telling you that they love you after 2 days, it's not real. But I'm like, I love you too.
Yeah, I love you too.
It feels great.
That's true love, you know.
Dopamine makes you do the stupidest things.
It does.
That's really what it comes down to.
There's people who are professional love bombers. They are a loser in life. They don't have anything there for them, and they want to feel the importance from love bombing people to feel the love that victim is giving them. And then once they get it, after 4 months, they go to the next target.
Yeah.
They also like to love bomb, like attractive, smart women who have shit going on. Like they want to mirror you. They pretend to be like you, and then they take things from you, get you to love them, and then they withdraw. They discard you.
And then you go crazy, and then they're like, you're crazy.
Yeah, you are crazy. You are love bombing me. Because you told me you love me in 2 days. I'm like, but you told me you love me first. You're like, did I say that? I'm like, did you? Yeah. So it's hilarious. But those people are so fake. They don't get anything going on for them, actually. They are very sad. They will never be in love.
No, that's true. They don't have any actual real feelings.
That's true. I felt like because of all the, I think my first husband, he was literally the best person in my life. One of the person who is like truly great. But I was too young and stupid. It was college.
I was gonna say college. Yeah, that's a child.
I was a child, and he was a child, and he actually. Now I am in LA. I have curtains of bullshit shit going through. Like I'm just like, ugh. And I realized he is like a real person. We were in love, and we were too young. But because of him, I believe in love. I know there are human beings that are kind like angels, and that's why even today I still believe in love. Like I don't want to compromise or surrender. I don't want to be like, oh, I'm gonna have a fuckboy on the side, or like I'm just gonna date, like do one night stands. I want true love and real love, and I know I can get it. Like we can have anything. We can have everything we want. That's the thing people tell us you can't. You have a career, you can't have love. You can have anything you want, bitches. Like you really can.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think so too, and I just think
you have it.
Yes, I don't have the family yet, but I think I'm going to do it.
You do. You have a husband. You're planning to have a baby. You have an amazing career. You have beauty. You have grace, and also like all your friends love you, which is very important because you are not a bitch. You are, but not a cunt. Like you are. People love you. People work around you, love you, adore you.
Yeah, I think bitch but not a cunt is an appropriate description because you have to be a bitch sometimes.
You have to.
Being a bitch is just like being assertive and
exactly.
knowing
For
what
a woman,
being
a bitch is like I have boundaries.
Yeah,
you can't fuck me in the ass when I'm not watching. Like that's all. But people think we are being bitches. Like what? She don't want me to steal money from her? Like what's wrong with her? What a bitch.
Oh, the money thing. One of the last guys that I dated before I met my husband, and dated is a strong word. He was not even my boyfriend. It was basically a 10-month long one-night stand. Like he moved into my apartment basically, and I couldn't get rid of him. But I was I was like, I didn't want to push back. I was like, okay, like sure, like yeah. And he was like a waiter who thought he was an actor, and he said he was an actor. And I was like, but have you ever had a role in acting? He was like, I don't let capitalism define what I am. I'm an actor.
Oh my God.
I know. And I was so twisted in the head that I actually made the wrong face when he was like, I was watching Investigation Discovery, whatever, murder. He was like, I would never take a role on this channel because it would ruin my acting reputation. I'm like, an acting reputation? You haven't even made an acting dollar. And he got so mad, and then he made me feel bad. I paid for his acting classes after that.
Oh my God.
What
a loser.
And I look back on that, and my whole family is like, thankfully this person is gone. But in the moment, sometimes you're just like, it's the path of least resistance. Like you're not called a bitch. You're like, oh yes, of course, I would be such a bitch to not let this loser who I don't even like live in my home, because it's just. It's society can condition you that way, and if you have certain trauma, and I was codependent and all these other things. But once I got the help, in the therapy and went through it, I'm like not attracted to that and attracted to someone who has their shit together.
Yes, I think therapy is so important. I started therapy on February this year. It changed my life. I got sober because of I'm trying to learn about myself, learn to love myself, who I am. It's just so important for us to know what we want, what we need in life. And the broke dicks, they are good though.
Broke because they have to be.
They have to be they put you through the mattress.
They have to be because they have nothing else going.
Yeah, that's all they have.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
That's all the passion they have is in bed and to pretend to be somebody else. He's acting in bed. He's important. That's all.
Yeah, and it's like my husband. He's like, he has a job. So he has to
He's
work.
a real man.
He's like a guy with a job and a life. And for a while, it's like the broke guys are they're always around. So if you're at your weakest, lowest, most lonely moment, it's not like they're doing anything.
Yeah, they will be on the phone with you for 2 hours.
For 2 hours, right. And
play guitar and play Elvis for you.
The guitar.
Guys, fuck
no,
you.
Yes.
You guys suck.
You cannot trust a man with an acoustic guitar. He sits there, he'll play a few chords, and next thing you know, it's like you placed him on this pedestal for no reason.
I know,
he knows
you think he's John Mayer.
He knows 3 chords.
Yes.
It's not good. But
you don't know because you are stigmatized.
Yeah, you're like, wow, he's an artist.
Yeah.
He's not an artist. He played Guitar Hero and he learned 3 chords.
He has a guitar, I have a knife. Doesn't mean I'm a chef,
It's true.
I cook
Absolutely.
too. I fuck too. I'm not a porn star, what you play guitar, you're not a guitarist, I just hate people. But in America, American people are encouraging, our parents encouraging the kids. In China, you cannot call yourself a painter unless you have paintings. That's you are a writer. You are literally New York's bestseller writer. But there's people who wrote something on MySpace. They just call them a writer. I'm just you can't call yourself a writer. You say I write sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not making a
or it's a hobby.
Yeah, just say that. Some people I'm a comedian. I'm a headliner. I'm where do you headline? What
TikTok.
TikTok. I don't know, but just stop calling yourself that. I don't know why. It's just you have to have the respect for the craft because it's really hard.
Yeah.
People just I'm a painter.
Right. Well, everybody, especially, in LA, I've noticed people are the jobs that people have here are things I've never heard of. I met someone who said she was a breakup coach. And I didn't know how to continue the conversation after that. I didn't know how to, she was like, and I was like, I think I made a face. I don't even remember what I said because that's not a job.
You can't put up with bullshit,
Yeah.
I can't. Whenever somebody tell me I'm a life coach, I'll be hey, Oprah. I want to hear from somebody that about life. I don't need you. You live in Van Nuys in the you share your room with 20 roommates.
Absolutely.
Life coach. You have to have a PhD in something right. Do you have life coach people tell you they're life coaches?
Yeah, of course. My therapist is a PhD. He went to school, but then there's the life coach thing, and it's all on Instagram with the captions, and they always post very sexy thirst traps, which I'm totally fine with. What I'm not fine with is they try to make it something other than a thirst trap. They'll write 6 paragraphs underneath about how this is me because I finally, and it's saying nothing in all these paragraphs, I finally learned to live in the truth of my power and it's then they get Buddha involved, and it's this is a picture of your ass on vacation, which is, you're totally fine, but I just we all know that. We don't think that you're doing this for a higher power.
Exactly. And they was you should love your body, just make sure you put the thing in your body and, be healthy and stay fit, blah, blah, whatever. I'm they talk about Buddha. Buddha is fat, Buddha want people to eat and be happy. Buddha don't want you to lose weight. Buddha wants you to just eat and be happy. You don't know anything about Buddha, bitch. You don't. Olivia, you don't know anything about
I would love to write that under some of these, but you don't know anything about Buddha, bitch.
Yeah,
because it's for
real. I should say that.
You should, because it's and the people, they all kind of blend together. Whenever it's interesting when I come to LA, I'm always you'll go out and people have clearly there's the same doctor because everyone will have the same face, they'll have the same nose, the same boobs, the same ass, and it's you just look like everybody else.
Yes.
And I don't know. I have no boobs, and I've started to be
you have nice boobs.
I have a big padded bra on
because you are so fit.
I'm a skinny person.
Your boobs pretty big for your body. That's the thing. My boobs are not huge, but it's fit my body well.
Yeah, I just would never want to go through a surgery just to get like boobs, you know? I take a week off work too.
Yeah, because you are not going to attract the person who truly love you for who you are. And you have the only person you need to attract yourself. When you love yourself, the right guy comes. That's like finally, that's so cliche, but it's the truth, right?
Yeah, well, I think it's because when you are okay being on your own, then you can actually think like, what are you going to add to my life? Rather than like, please fill this like void inside of me. I'm so, and I think that, I mean, you can still hate things about yourself. For me, there's things I hate about myself, but I like to make jokes about them to kind of disarm them. And there's a difference. Some of these people who get really weird with the self-love is like, just decide you love the things you hate about yourself. But sometimes you can't, and that's okay too.
It's okay, because I like when Joan Rivers like, you know, you like, for me, like I cannot love myself too much. Like if I learn to love myself too much, I will become Bobby Lee. I'm just gonna have my belly out and stop shaving. I have my beard. I don't know. Like I wanted to look presentable. I want to look like the girl I want to look like. Also, I still love myself. Like I love my Chinese eyes. Like I love the things I used to hate about. Like my dark skin wasn't attractive in China. Now I learned to love it. But like I'm not going to love myself when I look pregnant when I'm not, you know. I have nothing against people who is big, you know, because Buddha says 心宽体盘 is like your heart is bigger when your body is relaxed and bigger. It's like if you like to eat and you have no stress, that's when you are happy. It's not about like being a size 0. It's about like your body feel good.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just feel like the worst is people want to look like somebody else.
Yeah.
Like they want to look like this kind of like Michelle Pfeiffer kind of nose, like that kind of girl. Like they like even like people who are not like not white, like Asian girls. Their nose is so tall. They make it like it's just like I'm like you aren't like you don't like as an Asian girl just look like yourself. Like you can't like you cannot look like a pretty girl if you try to look white. Like you have to change your nose and cut the eyes open, like the eyelid surgery. Their eyes are so big. I'm like, this is not Asian. Like what? You know, just be yourself.
And I also feel like, you know, if there's something you can get done that makes you feel good about yourself, and it really does, then go for it. But I think that some people also kind of just they're never happy, and they do more and they do more and they do more. And there's things like my bottom teeth are all crooked, and I actually love that because they look different than other people's teeth, and you know, that kind of stuff. I want to look like me. And it's even also, you know, my mom died, and like as I get older I look more like my mom, and how cool is that I look like my mom. If I did a bunch of shit to my face, I would look like you know, everybody else. And
you look at your mom, it's perfect. In the morning, you look in the mirror, you look at, you are Kat, you are beautiful. Kat, you are the best. Kat, you are better than your sister. Kat, you are.
My sisters are really attractive.
Yes. You know what's the thing? Because you're your mom now, so you can tell yourself the things that she never said to you.
My sister, right, exactly. My sister is ridiculously, here's the thing, she's so beautiful.
You are so beautiful too, though.
She's gorgeous. She's like tall, she has boobs, my hair is like extension, she grows her hair herself, all this stuff. And get this, she's also smart, and she's fun and funny, and she also doesn't know that she's beautiful.
I hate those people because when you are beautiful,
you can't hate them.
It's the worst. If they are beautiful and they are like not sweet and they are successful, like I would just wish she's a bitch. But when you meet them, they're actually nice to you. That chills my soul. That is what make me feel like I don't believe in humanity anymore. Like, why is this woman is also an angel? Like, why make me feel worse about myself? I know.
My sister, it's like Christmas every year, the family photo, I try to get on the opposite side of where she is, and it still never really works.
We really bound on the hot sister. My sister is a hot Chinese girl, which she's a skinny, super skinny, pale skin, white skin girl. Like, she get to have all the beautiful pink dresses. I cannot wear it because I'm too ugly. My nickname was Cage Fighter. My sister's a Chinese Barbie, so I hate her so much. But now I'm hot in America now, but she's hot in China. But she's not very hot here because she's like so pale and skinny. Like
that proves that like none of it's real, because it's, you know, different places, different things are attractive.
You are hot somewhere.
You are hot somewhere.
It's honestly, 5 o'clock somewhere. You are hot somewhere.
And also there's like porn. There's every fetish in the world. People are into stuff that you don't even know exists.
Yes, I think it's amazing.
Yeah,
I think it's amazing. Like, even people like attend like you would think your sister is hotter. That's hilarious, because that's also, it makes people feel good, because people like us talk about our hot sisters and how much we envy them. Make people feel like, okay, you can never be hot enough, because you can't, because there's always you are always the most beautiful woman in somebody's eye, and there's somebody else who you think is prettier than you, don't think they are prettier than you. Beauty is so subjective.
And I feel bad, honestly, for girls who are growing up now who didn't have any time without social media, basically, because it's so bad. Even
toxic.
I'm in my mid-30s, and everyone says, like, don't read the stuff, and I can't help it. Like, sometimes I go, and it's, these people will say the most insane, horrible shit to you who you've never met. And it's like, you look at their profile and it's like, I'm a loving grandfather and, I love and it's their pictures with their grandkids. And it's like, if my grandpa was on the internet calling random strange women whores and disgusting, I would sit down with my grandpa and I would say, Grandpa, what the fuck are you doing? Like, somebody, like, whose grandfather is this? Or the grandmothers, the old, really old women who are always like, they'll be like, Kat, why are your dresses so short? I'm like, because I want them to be. Like, why do you care?
Because I want to show my nice legs, honey.
Yeah, I don't like show up at your house and I'm like, hey, you look like shit. You know what I mean? I'm just living my life.
They are so mean. Do you think because they become coward because it's so hard to say awful things to people's face?
I think so.
Now, because if you say something to people's face, you are a Karen, and if you are, especially a white guy, you can't say anything. That's why they are so brutal on the internet, because they cannot even say, hey, you look good.
Yeah,
if they say that, they get canceled because they are trying to rape you. And so online, they are just like unleashing the devil, like they're just like telling people all the awful things. You are a whore. You should burn. On a stick.
You're a whore. You're going to hell. You're disgusting. And it's like, you took time out. Thanks. What I've started doing, if I do reply, I just say thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to let me know.
Yes, also, I'm like, that is good for my algorithm.
Exactly.
I thank you.
That's why my husband's like, why don't you block these people? I'm like, because they comment on every single one of my posts, and that brings my shit up in the algorithm.
Yeah, and also your fans would go there and be like, hey, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
So it become like a war, and then people just basically unleash their stress.
Yeah.
They just have a war under your post.
They fight it out amongst themselves.
Yeah. I still have people go on my page to tell me that you are so fat and ugly, your accent is disgusting, and you should kill yourself. You should die today.
Yeah, and again, like, that should shock me, but all the time.
I just reply, Mom? Question mark.
It hits different coming from a stranger than it does someone in your life. But I don't know. I don't know anybody in my life who does that stuff. But there are a lot of them. So who?
Yeah, we don't know.
Who do these people not have friends or family? Like, who are they?
I think if they hate you because you affect them, because you are doing the things they want to do, but they don't have the balls to do.
Yeah,
they hate you for it.
I think it's, if they haven't achieved the level where they want to be, they can at least try to make someone else that is doing the things that they can't do feel bad. And that's a win in their eyes somehow.
And especially like a woman like you are intellectual, you are a comedian, and you are such a successful news reporter, journalist. It is like you are doing all the things like people want. Like there's girls would be happy to be a successful writer. Like that's a whole career.
Yeah.
Like you are doing everything, and you just don't feel bad that you can have it all. And that's what I talk about Suzanne. Like she was the very first woman who was like, no, I want to be paid the same.
Yep.
And they fired her.
Yeah.
Because she got fired, and she just kept going, and she just keep on going. Like that's what you're doing. You said like, I can do this.
Yeah.
I can write, I can read, I can report, and I'm also a comedian. I can do all of it. And the people, it's very threatening for most people because they don't want a woman to have that kind of power and have that kind of confidence. But we can do it. There's a lot of women who were able to do all the great things, like Barbara Streisand. She does everything.
She does.
What can you do? It's just you can do it. We can do it. The more women like you, the more it is better for little girls to be like, shut up. I'm gonna do it. Okay?
Yes.
Don't tell me what I can't do.
Yes, and I totally and it's a lot of work, it took a lot of work, and I know same for you to get to where I am. And so I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to, keep putting in the work. But I also think that the word doing is something that's missing a lot. I think feminism's gotten twisted for a lot of people where it's all about what's being done to you. And obviously we all have stories as women of like harassment, assault, sexism, something in that vein because we are women. And it's good to talk about that stuff. But when you become obsessed with what's being done to you and we're never talking about what you can do and what you're doing, then that to me is not empowering anymore.
Yeah, I'm very tired of a lot of women. I'm a woman of color. Like I was I wasn't wanted when I was a baby girl. There's a lot of girls that have a more traumatic childhood than me, but mine is pretty traumatic. It's very difficult. And I always believe that we can do anything we want, and there's a lot of bad things happening to me, but I just hate when people play the woman card. Like, they fire me because I'm a woman. No, bitch, you type slow. That's what you do. Yeah, you should. The thing is, like, when we were born as a woman, unfortunately, it is not fair. Like, the moment we were born, it's not going to be fair. You are not going to get paid equally as a man who is not as good as you. But there's the one thing you can do. You can be 10 times better than a man, 20 times better, and you can be the boss. You can change it.
Yeah, and it's not fair, but it's still true.
It's not fair, and it's true. We just cannot play the woman card.
You're gonna have to be, work harder to be taken seriously. You're gonna have to do all these things.
We have to.
You're gonna have to toe that line so you don't, you're assertive, but you're not a bitch, or you're this or that, and it's gonna be harder. But just because it's not fair, that doesn't mean that, like, it's gonna become fair because you said that, and it sucks. It sucks. It's not fair. It's really, but it's true. Really, really difficult. And in news, in comedy, like we are in the areas that it is very, very unfair. But the people who work hard and who keep pushing, we have great women doing all of it. Absolutely. And, I it's emotional for me to come back to Southern California because, when I first started out of college, I was here, and my first job out of college was I was a cashier at Boston Market because I gotten into an Ivy League journalism school, Columbia, but I didn't have enough money to go. So I stayed here. I did internships, and I eventually started waitressing, which was like, I was excited to make tips. I was like, I'm not just minimum wage anymore. That was a huge moment for me. And, and I started doing stand-up comedy, and coming back here now with the success that I have is an actually very emotional thing for me because I was struggling. There was a week where I got scabies from the bus the same week that my cat got fleas. No. I know. No human being should be that itchy. No human being should be that itchy, but I was that itchy. And guess what? A week later, I lost my apartment. So but any given time, I could have been like, I'm going to go home. I'm done. And I didn't. And that's, I think, the decision that people are scared. It can get really bad. There's no limits to how bad things can get. You have to kind of decide, are you going to go do it anyway? Are you going to keep pushing anyway?
That's the moment that defines who you are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like a itchy
kitties, dude. It was bad. It was just like, I guess it was better to get it all over at once rather than, have like the fleas and then the scabies. But, the thing is, the cat had the fleas, but, they share. They bring them in and they will bite you too. In case you guys didn't know. If you haven't had fleas, everybody, they will also bite humans.
They do. And I just love when you tell stories like that. It's very empowering for people who are going through harsh. I hate when people are successful. They just like, it just, I'm so talented. It was easy. They were, I showed up, boom. It's not that. It's so hard. It's so hard. All of those moments. I remember when I was in Kentucky. I was, not to brag, I went to Kentucky, University of Kentucky.
Yeah.
I went to your hometown too. I went to Detroit. I did. Oh, it's so great. I
love Detroit.
Is great. Detroit is like a Chicago right after a zombie attack.
Yeah, it's great because in Detroit you at least know where you shouldn't go because like the downtown's beautiful, it's fun, but like the neighborhoods you shouldn't go are straight up burned out buildings. So
I love that.
If you're going over there, you're either filming a zombie movie or you are interested in burned out building activities.
Yeah, like Detroit is like an honest horror. Like I have herpes today, and I'm not gonna do this. You can wait for next week.
Exactly, not a good time. Not a good time right now. I love that. Being straight up about it. There's no surprises.
I love that. I was in Kentucky. I was working. I was a waitress at 5 restaurants because I cannot. Wasn't legal for me to work. I was with a student visa, so I was working and all the restaurants. I remember one of them is a Middle Eastern restaurant. It was like a Lebanese restaurant. The owner, the lady, was nice to me, but then they couldn't find like $200, and she decided that I stole the money, and then she told everybody I was a thief. And it was like snowing. I ran my bike for like 1 hour to go to work. I don't have a car.
Yeah.
I was running my bike, and everybody thought I was a thief. And I was running back and crying. I was just like, I fell. I was sitting just by the bridge crying. And then I got a text message like, "Oh, we found the money. You didn't steal it." That's when I know I'm just like, I will remember this moment.
Yeah.
Being called a thief in a country I don't speak English. I have nobody. I can't tell my mom because she already don't want me to come to America. When I tell her this happened, she's like, I told you can't do it. I can hear her. So I was alone. Like the most important, I was by myself, and it gave me more strength to be like, that is a moment I remember. And when I went back to Kentucky to headline the comedy club, and it's so emotional. It means so much. That's why it's so emotional for you to be back to Southern California. That's where you started.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that it is. And I was alone out here too. I mean, I'd been dating. I moved in with my college boyfriend, kind of and he's a great friend of mine now, but kind of just like non-consensually. I just like didn't go anywhere. I just like brought my stuff and I was like, I live here. Obviously that didn't work out. But I there was a period of time where really the only people I knew were him and then my cat, which like it put a lot.
How old is your cat?
He's 13.
Wow.
13. He's old. And, but you know, the cats are also like, they're not dogs. Like I expected too much of the cat in terms of companionship. Like he would straight up claw me. He's like, dude, like I need a little bit of space here because I was completely by myself. I really, truly, I remember I had to wait tables once with a big scratch all the way across my face. But actually the day I made the most tips was the boyfriend finally did break up with me and I had to go straight to work. So I was sobbing at this diner while I was waiting. I was like, can I get you? And like, they're like, are you good? I'm like, no, he broke up with me and I'm all alone. And they were like, they would give me like $100. And I was like, this is actually great. Because I was also a really bad waitress. I was not good at it.
I was not good at waitress.
It's a skill.
It's a skill. That's why I always like if my waiter don't burn me, I give him 25%, because I was a waiter for 5 years and I wasn't good as him.
I was not good. I worked at the California Pizza Kitchen in Long Beach, and thankfully I never got the secret shopper. I was scared every day because they have the secret shoppers that go in and they like evaluate the waitress, and I would have been done in a second because I forgot things a lot. I never really learned how to open a bottle of wine. Whenever someone ordered one, I would just be like, I'm busy to somebody. Like I was not. I couldn't carry a lot of plates. I would always, it was not a good situation. So if anybody, like you said, if even a bad waitress, minimum, I'm like, you're doing your best. It is so hard.
Yeah, it is very hard job. You have to please people and serve people. It's so difficult.
You'll never see again.
Yeah.
Who hate, like they don't care if you live or die, really.
Yeah, they don't. Mm-mm. Yeah. And like, also like as a waiter, I remember people who's paying me bad tips. Like it's so disappointing. It's like your boyfriend don't text you back. It's like, what?
Yeah.
You're giving me $1?
I did all that.
200. What?
Yeah.
What? I'm just like, oh my God. It's when you see somebody, it's like a human nature. When you see somebody like they are so talkative, so nice couple, you're like, they're gonna tip me well, and then they give you $1. And then like one nasty old guy who's like he's racist, he's disgusting, he tips you like a 25%. I'm just like,
you have it's actually hard to determine. It really is.
Yeah.
But it's always like, for me, it's like, can't these people, I'm not here waiting tables at California Pizza Kitchen across from the Long Beach Convention Center because there's something else that I could be doing for money.
Yeah.
Like this is how I need to pay my bills.
Yeah.
So if people will like, okay, $20 to me at that time would be like a huge deal. And probably if you're eating out, $20 is not the biggest deal in the world to you. So I don't know how you couldn't make that calculation and feel okay with, even if it's bad service, tipping like this person needs this $20 more than I do. Like if I get like a drink or something, or like it's a small bill, I still tip a ton of money because this is that person's time, and you can make a huge difference in someone's day for something that doesn't affect you that much.
Yes. Give them a hope, make them feel like, nice. People need that, especially waiters. Waiting people is so hard,
especially if I wasn't on salary. So when I had the scabies, I had to take a couple days off. I was, I couldn't work that. You can't work with scabies, or you shouldn't. You really shouldn't work in the food service industry.
One cat got flea. One cat
with fleas and scabies. It's bad. When you get scabies, you know what you have to do? Probably not, because you're not disgusting. So my mom was always like, never tell anybody you got that. I'm like, okay, well, she can't hear me now because she's dead. But so you cover your whole body with cream, and you got to sit there naked, and it like kills the bugs in your skin.
My sister got scabies.
Yeah, it's not as bad as some of the other ones.
Because she's little, like she's not as strong as me. Her body, she's like her immune system is kind of weak.
Oh, so the bugs are like hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, well, you decide to be pretty, so fuck you. Whenever she's like have a cold, sick, I'm just like, well, you're the pretty one, so fuck you. I'm an ugly one, but I'm healthy. So I'm just like, I love them whenever she gets sick. I'm just like, yes, you are pretty. You can't wear a nice dress. Huh. It's so competitive.
But there's no dress that can fix scabies.
Oh God, scabies it sucks.
It was just the one time for me.
That's great.
Definitely from the bus.
I know.
The bus is a lot of time on the bus.
Yeah, the bus is hard. The bus in LA is pretty tough.
Exactly.
The bus in LA is tough. If you are having a depressing day, go to the bus and just start judging everybody. You know, you feel like you are doing well in life.
Yeah, I did a lot of bus, also just like the overnight bus trips. I mean, I was doing stand up for like no money, like for the exposure.
I love we pay $5, we buy 20 drinks.
Yeah, you can get chicken tenders.
Yes,
and I'm like on the Greyhound bus, and it's just so you look around and you're like, oh man, like. But I always say I would act crazy, I would act psycho, I would scratch a lot, because then they won't fuck with you.
Yeah, I love that. I remember I go to Flappers to do the open mic, lottery open mic.
I used to do that.
Right, like in a little bar.
Yeah.
We put it like it's a lottery, so I buy 20 sparkling water.
Yeah.
I used to buy alcohol. People start saying you're alcoholic. I'm like, I am, but like I'm not gonna spend the money buying that. I can just go to the liquor store.
Exactly.
So I just go get the bottle of vodka and like then I buy 20. You got 20 like sparkling water. So I'm gonna get pulled. And I remember like I always finish my open mic and go outside and always have people who's like. I don't know, give me flyers, be like, do you believe in Jesus Christ? God is gonna save you. I'm like, honey, God, like, does God love everybody? He's like, yeah, God loves everybody. I mean, he does not love you. You live in Burbank. Just leave me alone. He didn't believe in you, honey. Relax.
Yeah, I did that exact same mic where you go there for the lottery when I was here. The exact same.
Do you buy a lot of drinks in order to get pulled? Because isn't that a waste of time if you just sit there and listen?
Yeah, you have to buy. Yeah, you have to spend money, and it's like, and then you that's how you get pulled, and you do it, and you like, and in your head at that time, you're like, this 5 minutes is everything. If I do well in this 5 minutes, then I'm gonna be a star, obviously.
Yes.
But if you like don't do well in the 5 minutes, you're like, my life is over. But really, nothing in my life ever changed because of Flappers in Burbank.
Oh my God,
mic.
nothing ever changed. Like the thing about the open mic is that when you are doing well, all of the other comedians they don't laugh. They're just like they were so mad. But when you are not doing well, they're like, ugh. They just it doesn't matter. That's why like surviving the open mic, it's very hard for you. For doing well is like a little, like a tiny little like laughter. Yeah, that's for open mic doing well, and it doesn't change our life at all because the waiting is so long for the lottery mic.
Yeah, and it becomes in the open mic scene in any city, which I've done it here in LA, I've done it in DC and in New York, and it's just becomes its own little weird high school. Yes. Where like,
and then there are people fucking. There's people dating.
Yes.
Like, you are dating a comedian. Like, I can't talk to you.
I dated so many open mic, and it's just like, why am I like why did I again looking back now? Why did I date these guys?
They are so jealous of you,
and they hate you. I had one guy who was I met him in we were doing open mics together, and then after I had some success, we had started dating. And then he just like hated that because people will like you more when you're down, right? Especially if it's like a male female.
Oh
thing.
yeah,
and it's like I was on the same stuff as you were, and it just I'm better than you at this.
Yes.
You can't say that because they'll go nuts, but it's also like, how do you not know that?
Yeah,
it's just that I'm better than you. It's just that I'm better than you.
It shocks me when they don't know that, and then they just get angry. You do want to punish you by all the weird little weird like silent treatment.
Yes.
Or like my ex-husband, when I was on TV, he just like he turned off the TV. He's like, let's save some battery. I'm like, first of all,
battery.
There's no battery.
What the hell TV was this?
It was so like, you are a grown man. You are 20 years older than me. Like, you have money. Like, what? Are you kidding me? He's like, well, one time I was on the front page of Wall Street Journal. I'm like, in the 60s? Like, what are you talking about?
Also, like, cool, I'm not I'm not gonna be like, we have to burn this newspaper. Yeah, like women don't, men do that. Women hate that. Women don't do that. Men do that.
They hate when you are succeeding. They want to just step. Like, this is good man who want to lift you up.
Yeah,
very few. Like gay people, they do like a good gay friend. They were like, woo, like I wish my husband can be gay.
See, that's why I have my husband, who's my husband, and then Keith is like, he is my best friend. He's my tour manager. He was the flower girl in my wedding.
That's amazing.
He picks out my clothes. It's like when people are like, how do you guys know each other? I'm like, I don't know. There's not a word for it.
Your outfit's killer.
It's all credit to Keith.
Yeah, I love how your outfit is a combination of very feminine, and also like very powerful.
Yeah.
Like very, very powerful. Like you love to rock suits. I love that. But you make it super sexy, not in a Hillary way. Like more like you have sexy pointy shoes and always some surprise bra stuff.
That's a lot of contraptions.
I love that.
A lot of contraptions there. But it is, it took me a long time, I think, to get there, because you feel like you have imposter syndrome and you internalize the stuff people say. It took me a long time to be like, this is not an accident that I'm here. People just don't like get this position by accident or because somebody is nice to you. That this is just not how it works.
Your comedy background, like stand-up comedy, like skills. It's like when you see Robin Williams, you like, well, why he's a good actor? He is a comedian. Like, comedians can act. Actors cannot do stand up. If you can be a great comedian, your acting is amazing. Like, that's why you are so amazing on TV. Is because you with your stand up, like the way you pursue stand up is open mics. It kills souls. If you can survive that is, reporting news and it flows out.
Nothing is scary to you if you can look at a little list on the internet of open mics in a city where you don't know anybody, take the bus there, sit there with all these men and be there by yourself, and they're all trying to hit on you, and you're like, leave me alone, and do this, set in my set I talk a lot about my life and talk about my trauma, and do that. If you can do that and then have, of course, inevitably countless times where everybody's dead silent while you're doing your whole thing, and you can take that sheer pain and just how demoralizing that is, then few things after that are going to be really scary to you. To going on TV after that, I wasn't really too nervous because I'd already done the open mic thing hundreds of times by that point.
And also the compassion you bring out is very authentic, because as a comedian you have to bring out the darkest part of your life, the most painful thing, to rip it open, to just take your soul. So it's very natural for you.
For me,
to talk about news,
Yeah, and I mean, for me, I just I didn't even really make a decision to do it this way, but I've had people who I've talked to when my book came out, who work with me in news, who are my friends, that read the book, and they're like, we loved it. They're like, also, we can't believe you actually talked about XYZ or this disgusting thing, or because so many people on TV want to be like you said earlier, they want to be like, look at me, I wake up like this, I'm perfect, everything's beautiful, everything's great because I'm this brand, I'm this image, but that's not real, and nobody's like that. Everybody has stuff that's disgusting and sad in their life, in their past. So I think that accidentally people have connected with me, and I think that I've been able to connect with people because of that, because we all have that shit.
Because you're open, they relate to you because they felt seen, and that's so important. And I just hated when all of a lot of powerful, strong, beautiful women have what you just call the imposter syndrome. Is so dangerous, because we are conditioned as little girls. The moment we were born is just to not be too loud, to not think, to not be too cocky, to not be even in Asian culture, you just lay low, just be quiet. That's what women are told to do. But a lot of traditional Asian value don't like me because they think I'm too loud. They're like, she's bringing shame to Asian women. I'm like, no. Asian women should speak. It's time for us to talk.
Yeah, you're like, now I'm making money off.
It's overdue. I want money. I don't care who's happy or unhappy. My son need diapers. The kids need to eat. I'm a single mom. I have no child support. Whoever is paying me, letting me say whatever the fuck I want, they are my friend. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
I don't care if you are not giving me money. Shut up, you don't I don't give a fuck about how you feel. People are like, oh, I don't like, I'm like, you don't have to like anything, I'm not getting a check from you, so whatever you say don't matter to me at all.
And also people who have never done anything like this for a living, trying to say that if someone says something that they find offensive, then that person should just be done forever, or you're irredeemable. I feel like we're all such unique individuals, and I think that usually we can find more to connect than we, can disagree on just as humans. And people also just to understand, when you're just talking for a living, whether it's stand-up, whether it's on TV, whether it's a podcast, inevitably you're gonna say something.
Yeah.
And any one of these people who kind of talk shit about it, they would too. It's if you had a microphone when you were at dinner all the time, or you were with your friends, or you were in the kitchen, you might say something that someone would get upset about. So just because you can't do it and you don't have anything that people are interested in hearing, that doesn't mean that you get to say what it's, because so much of comedy obviously is about like swinging and missing. You don't know if something's going to hit until you try it.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to let people be free to try it. Without,
I really love that. I love that, Kat. It's just amazing because last week I had a partner, Oswald. Oswald said that he felt that society right now is not giving the opportunity and chance for people to make a mistake.
Yeah.
If they are very carefully choosing the word they say, they don't really mean. And that is very toxic.
Yeah.
Because we should let people say something stupid and be like, oh, that was stupid, I apologize.
Right.
Then be like, oh, you're canceled, you are a racist, you are a sexist. Like it's just like the labeling, it's too far. And the young people are not allowed to make any mistakes.
Any mistakes at all.
Yeah,
And
they can't be crazy, they can't do dumb shit. Like we used to do, like we are
Of
here today
course.
because we were stupid, we were young.
Yeah.
We learned from our mistakes.
Yeah, if that wasn't clear, I am by now. I did a lot of stupid stuff when I was younger. And I learned from all those things. And now it's like your whole life is on the internet, and nobody would meet this litmus test of never saying something that you regret in your whole entire life or doing something that you regret in your whole entire life. And I think that we need to go back to the standard of intention. If somebody wasn't intending to be mean, racist, sexist, or an asshole in any other way, maybe they were just trying to make a joke, or maybe something didn't come out the right way, or maybe they didn't realize something about someone or something. To be able to say, I didn't realize that, I'm sorry, and be like, that hurt my feelings, but I understand, I accept your apology. But now it's like you can't exist in the public square anymore. And if you're so carefully choosing the words, like you said, that really stunts creativity.
Yes, and that's like the social media voice. Like we hear all the comedians have the same voice. They just they kind of manipulate a little algorithm. They say the same thing. They sound like they are kind of having some edgy point of view, but it really don't have anything. It's just all the same fake voice.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, also when we, people have to be able to swing and miss. I think that's important for creativity, but I also think that's important for, for both of us, obviously, making jokes about the trauma in our lives has been healing for us, right?
Yes.
And that's why I called my book You Can't Joke About That, because you're allowed to, I didn't call it That's Not Funny, because you're allowed to think something's not funny, but when you say you can't joke about a subject, you're actually not just being annoying, you're being really mean and you're being cruel, because what you are saying by saying that is you might be taking a healing mechanism away from a person who might really need it.
Totally. I feel like there is no boundary when it comes to humor, because humor heals. Like people can be laughing at a funeral, and that is the power of humanity. Yeah.
I made there's been times when I've posted jokes or something about my mom's death or whatever, and people will be like, "That's not funny that your mom's dead." I'm like, I know that. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
And why are you offended? Because you didn't even know her. You don't know me. You didn't know her. And she was, she was always joking, even as she was dying, about dying, and that was part of where I got it from. So but these people see themselves as being compassionate
They want
when they're
to be
not
on a higher ground and judge you, make you feel bad about yourself, so they can feel like they are
right. How are you being compassionate by saying that I'm healing wrong from a trauma that you have nothing to do with?
This is so it's so painful for me. People tell me you can't talk about being a dumpster baby. I'm just like, why? I can't talk about
that's
it.
That's not funny. You're like, duh.
It's very funny for the other dumpster babies to
exactly.
becoming successful and to just look back and be like, oh, wow, I'm from the dumpster. It's very important for them to know. Also for the girls who's an orphan, don't feel like she belongs. Like, oh, Jiaoying Summers, her dad taking her to the dumpster. That's where she's from. I'm not worse than her. If she can do it, I can do it better. Because I speak English. That bitch don't even speak any English, right? I want them to know where I'm from. I just, people are like, you should feel bad about it. I'm like, I do feel bad. You don't get it. I become a comedian. Of course I feel bad about it.
And people think that's a hot take. It's so crazy. No, actually, that's really bad. What happened to you? You're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Obviously. That's, people will write whole think pieces about jokes sometimes. People who have nothing to do with comedy, where they're like, actually, assault isn't funny, or actually, this childhood trauma isn't. Yeah. That's not a hot take. We agree there. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. And it's just, it's so it's so ridiculous and it's so wrong because
how far is this gonna go? I feel like there's a generation of people, they're just gonna say anything. They won't even be on social media. That's what the Patton House was. Like there's a group of people, they read a book, you can't see them. They won't be on social media. It's a secret ground, you can see them. Secret places, you can see them performing, talking.
Yeah, because it's also like the biggest controversies I've ever had too have been ones where people took like a little clip of something I said and said I was like saying something else, which
they hate you, and it's good because you have to have people who hate you to know where you are on the top, and they hate you, they want to destroy you, but they can't because they are trying to twist things that's not real.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think like that's just amazing what you said about how people seeing themselves as compassionate for the way that you deal with telling you you're wrong in the way that you're healing. I can't believe how much traction it's gotten for how stupid it is for people to be like, I'm the compassionate one. I'm the sensitive one for saying that the way that you're healing from your trauma is wrong.
Yes. And I want to raise awareness about mental health in Asian American community. I talk about the thing my mom said to me, and people are like, you are making your mom look bad. I said she should look bad. That's what she said to me. And all the other moms should feel bad for saying that to their daughters because you traumatize them. That's why I have low self-esteem. That's why I allow my husband to tell me you're fat and ugly, you should die, because that's the same thing my mom tell me every day. Like I don't feel like he's being mean to me. I felt he treat me like family.
Yeah.
it's fucked up.
You're like, this is what love is.
Yes, like my husband like, you lost your look. I'm like, oh my god, you think I used to have look?
Yeah,
I do. I will marry you. Like it's very important for us to addressing the things that happen to us that is not right. So people, when you say it in a term of humor, it's so powerful because it's not a TED talk.
Exactly.
People listen to it. They're like,
people want to laugh.
Yeah.
It's digestible. It's not somebody being like, yes, are you okay? Like that's the worst thing ever. Actually, whenever I've gone through something really tough in my life, a lot of the stuff I write about in my book, it was made so much worse by everybody who was so weird around me because they were so scared to say the wrong thing that they just got weird. And it's like now, in addition to being so devastated, I also feel isolated now.
Oh yeah.
And it's like oh, like, are you okay? Like, no, of course not. Mm-hmm. Like, is that all you got? Like, no. Like, can we just talk? But you can't because people are too scared to say the wrong thing. And those rules are supposed to be to protect people who are going through rough things. But to me, it always made it harder. Yes. Like if you talk, I'm sure you have this, if you talk about your childhood, you bring something up, people are like, and it's like, okay, thank you. I feel so much better now because now I went through that and I have to feel responsible for bringing the vibe in the room down.
Yes, they are so afraid. I talk about in China, people hate big lips. They're like, that's racist. I'm just like, it is the reality in China. There's concealers you put on your lips to cover your lips, to draw a little tiny baby bird asshole lips in the middle.
So I would be hot in China, is what you're saying.
You have big lips.
They're not really, but
they do. You have nice big lips. Mm. Yeah, I'm saying like Jessica Chastain should play your biopic.
Oh, wow, I wish I could trade my inner monologue with you.
She's gonna do it, and she's gonna win another Oscar.
Amazing.
And she's going to like put her eyebrow darker because her eyebrow is like so light, her eyebrow. But she has nice eyebrow.
Yeah.
She should play you, like, for sure.
She does have great eyebrows.
Yeah, she should play you. That'll be like I can see it. I always see things, honey. Like, I can totally see it. It's so great. I couldn't, I'm trying to talk about the beauty standard is toxic in East Asia. Like, the girls feel ashamed of having big lips. People are like, you are a racist, like, are you talking about black people? I'm just like, no, I'm not talking about black people. The Asian people don't like big Asian lips. It's fucked up. I want young Asian girls to not suck their lips in. Yeah. Because they do that like this. Because we are so embarrassed about the big lips. Like they call it the sausage lips or like dumpling lips. It's traumatizing. Because I lived through that. The moment I got concealer, I start put concealer around my lips to make it smaller. Like that's what I did. And also the same thing happening in America. People are injecting poison in their lips to make it bigger. It's not attractive. Yeah. What you have is attractive. And you can use lipstick, lip liner, but like making it bigger or smaller because people think it's ugly. Fuck people.
Yeah,
they
who
know
cares?
Shit. They don't know anything.
A lot of people they're gonna hate you anyway. You can inject whatever in your face and people will hate you no matter what. And I think what you said is really important too, where it's like, obviously talking about these things, humor makes it more digestible. It's more fun to listen to a joke than it is somebody like pontificating and going on and lecturing you. But how can it be better to leave these things unsaid. That's how these things continue. If everyone's so scared of talking about a sensitive issue wrong or of talking about an injustice wrong, then that is what allows the injustice to continue, because nobody's talking about it and bringing it to light.
Exactly, because they just ignored it. Like, oh, it never happened.
I better not talk about it, because if I say something wrong, then I won't be allowed to go out in public anymore.
Yeah. You are such a powerhouse.
You are a powerhouse. I'm so glad to finally meet you, honestly.
I'm so excited I got to meet you. We are such like workaholics. Like we meet working. We were supposed to go to Chateau Marmont, but you are busy.
I'm working.
You are big star. I'm just so happy to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. You look amazing.
You look amazing.
You're giving Audrey Hepburn vibes.
Thank you.
Some Audrey. Yeah, I look like your stepmom. Yeah.
True.
I am so happy to have you. Thank you so much,
Thank you so
Kat.
much for having me.
We're going to hang out soon in New York.
1,000%.
We
of course.
have to. Thank you so much, guys. Bye. Follow Kat. Where can my fans find you?
My Instagram is Kat Timpf, Twitter's Kat Timpf, and just my website, everything's there. TheRealKatTimpf.com.
Catch her on tour and go grab her book right now. Run.